this one.
It's awesome. It's really great.
Shobani. Prepanes tenaces. Are you running around? Ozzy, you're a very good patient. You're a very good patient. Some stuff in your ears. Good boy. Oh. You're good. You're good. What are you doing? Are you good? I think Ozzy is good. The next patient. Ooh, what was that noise?
Anna, did you grab her a bucket with that notebook and everything in it?
Surgery. You're a good boy. very wiggly patient.
You see your teeth?
He's got all baby teeth.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
a big baby.
He is.
Okay. Good. Pete looks good.
All right.
What are you doing?
Come on, Pete.
Is it correct?
Okay, to you, right? Not to that. Okay.
No, just to me.
Okay, all right. It's Kristen Scheller, KristenScheller.
Yeah, because our finance guy, Nunes Schneller. So I
Oh,
always never
Schneller,
know
yeah.
when to get that wrong. Okay, Kristen, first of all, tell me a little bit about what you did starting this morning, what you guys are doing with Louisa County.
Okay, so we are providing the veterinary services for the Louisa County Animal Shelter. Dr. Sims and I went out there this morning, so we take the van out there, and then the shelter manager, we have a great relationship with her, so she always has a list of animals for us to assess when we're there, ones that she has concerns about. She had concerns about ringworm, she had a neglect case that she needed a veterinarian's opinion on, things like that. And then we collect animals that need surgical procedures or need things that we can't perform in that shelter because they don't have the facility, and then we transport them back here to the CASPCA and provide that care here in our shelter. And then they come for pickup in the afternoon. They bring them back to their shelter after that. So.
This is a pretty new situation for
Mm-hmm.
CASPCA. You know, you've been here for a while, so what was that like getting that all together?
Yeah, so if someone would have told me when I started here about 4 years ago that we would be taking on another shelter's veterinary care, I probably would have cried or laughed at the same time, both of them, I'm not sure. But I think it's really great that we're in the position to do this now. So it's really come from being able to set up a lot of protocols here in our clinic and a lot of good training. So our assistants are really self-sufficient and they can do a lot of the work for us, for Dr. Sims and myself. And that has enabled us to be in a position where we can share those protocols and the shelter medicine practices that we're using here with another shelter. So it's we've only been doing it for about a month, and it's been going very well. We do it once a week. Most often, assistants will go for us, and Dr. Sims and I will stay here at the shelter and take care of cases here. Our goal is once a month to be able to have one of the vets go to Louisa so we can help evaluate the animals there. We're lucky because even our assistants, when they go out to Louisa for the transport, are trained very well and they can help assess animals in Louisa also. So.
What about the caravan itself? That's fairly new that you all have. Is that what allowed you the ability to go there and be able to do this? Or, you know, talk a little bit about the caravan and how it plays in.
Yeah, the caravan's awesome. So it's just transporting animals can happen in a variety of different vehicles. You know, the caravan's great because there's secure cages. It's safe for the animals to be riding in longer rides with a generator, so it's temperature controlled and relatively comfortable for the animals, so that's great. But the thing that gives it a huge advantage over just any other vehicle is that it's set up such that it can be licensed as a veterinary clinic. So we're in the process of obtaining that license. But once it's licensed, we can do things such as place microchips, minor wound repairs. We can stock some medications on that vehicle. It has a lockbox, a refrigerator, and allows us to act as a little mobile veterinary clinic and offer services out of the vehicle. So that's what kind of makes it more exciting or much more useful than just a regular van or other car that you could, you know, stack a bunch of cages in. So
Sure, being a veterinarian in shelter care, I know you see a lot of cases, but some of it's still got to shock you or upset you, or, you know, it's got to be an emotional situation to go to other shelters that may not be as equipped as well as CASPCA.
yeah, it's really remarkable, the difference. We're so fortunate here in Charlottesville, Albemarle. We're so fortunate to have the shelter and have the resources that we do. And it's just interesting how just down the road, you know, in a different county, and the cats don't know what county they're in or the dogs don't know, and it can be just drastically different. But of course things are still shocking, but I personally remind myself that it would still be happening whether or not I am here and involved. These things will still be going on, and my preference is to be involved and help if I can. So yeah.
The caravan is also used for adoption events and like that. So,
Yeah.
I mean, talk a little bit about how that how it's used for that, and then it can transform into. I mean, I know it might sound a little repetitive, but just go that.
Yeah,
route
how
a
it can
little
be
bit.
used for different
'Cause
functions.
We were yesterday over at Crutchfield showing what an adoption event is like. So, but just talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I think that's another neat thing about the Caravan, because when we were deciding the specifics of the vehicle, there's some different options for different vehicles that have different functions. So the good thing about ours is that it's set up to be a great adoption van. And I'm sure you saw yesterday they can raise up the sliding doors. There's lights that can spotlight the animals in their cages in there, and it can be really beneficial for a shelter to bring animals off the property into the community, because it just spreads awareness of the animals that we have. I mean, there are still some people that don't want to visit the shelter because it's sad, and I get that. It is sad. There's no denying that. And then there's some people that think, we only have a certain type of dog or a certain type of cat. So really allowing us to bring our animals out into the community to be showcased is wonderful. And the fact that it can do both, it can be used for that kind of function, and then the next day be, loaded up with animals from Louisa County to be brought back here, it's pretty exciting. So, yeah.
Perfect on that one. And also the last thing I wanted you to talk a little bit about is specifically that. Do you know Beth Marcus as a foster?
Yeah. I mean, we not well, but of course she was very involved with SBCA. So, yeah.
Right. And I know she does a lot of. Talk a little just bit about that effort as far as people who do that fostering. Talk a little bit about how important that effort is to the shelter.
So people who are fostering for us in the community, especially long-term fosters and people who are very involved, such as Beth Marcus, that is how we are no-kill. I mean, that's what makes it possible to have the homes that we can put our shelter animals in. It empties up cages in the shelter, which it helps us because we can bring more animals in that need it. It also, the less animals are in the shelter at any one time, obviously that allows us to give more care and spend more time with the animals that are here because we have less. So all those animals are less stressed, healthier, they get adopted faster. So really having those strong, supportive community members is really what enables us to be a no-kill shelter. So it's great.
Perfect.
You can't tell because she's so fluffy, but she's very Hi, girl. Sweet girl. She's not sad. Hey, listen to you. My baby, it's okay. You're a good girl. It's okay. Okay.
Who's this Becky from Max?
Apparently she was very, very heavily mounted. They had photos, but they didn't put the date and stuff like that. Should have. They will learn. Okay, girl, I think this might hurt her a little bit. Hi, sweetie. Yes, I'm sorry, girl. I'm sorry, baby.
You're really sweet.
I know, baby.
Looks bad. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. You're a good girl. It's okay. You're a good girl. You're a good girl.
Okay, baby, okay.
Good girl. I know it's bad.
Okay, this baby, just go ahead and get it to my
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay, baby. I know it's weird.
we'll have to sedate her and kind of clean her ears out the best we can. Get a big 4, a 40X, and a fecal. And we'll go from there.